Hi, I'm Jess, and today we're going to be doing a Handsome Jack makeup tutorial. I decided to do this for my Halloween costume, but knowing that Youmacon is also this weekend, I thought it was going to be a good choice. So first steps, of course, clean up your face. And we're going to go in with a light contour color. For me, that's sort of a light taupe, just to sort of carve out a lot of the shadows on the face and give some definition to the brows, as well as sort of carve out the section of face that is Jack's regular face compared to his handsome face, which is strapped over top. So I've sort of marked a spot above my brow, in the middle of the muscle, just above your brow. So if you raise your brow, you can kind of see where that muscle is, and then aim for a middle spot because Jack has some pretty thick brows. Here I'm just sort of outlining the different sections of where Jack's face is and where the bolts are that hold the new face to the old face. I'm using an angled brush for this. I find it's pretty good with precision, and it can give you a semi-clean line. So now that you have your outline done, you're going to fill it in with a flat brush with the same color, just up on the top there, and make sure that you get right into your hairline. If you don't make sure that you've colored in all the way into the hairline, you'll see a pretty stark difference. At least you will if you're as pale as I am. Fill in the sides as well, just over in your temple area, but leave the bolts empty. We're going to fill those in later. You can use a cotton wad or a Kleenex. I've got one of those sort of circle-shaped cleaner pads, and fold them in half, and that'll be a good way to sort of clean up your edges. With a big powder brush, I'm going to go in the same color there and just define underneath my jawline a little bit more, because Handsome Jack is male and I'm female, so he's got a little bit more of a strong jaw than I do. Depending on your skin tone, you can kind of go between those two browns there. I end up going for the lighter brown, just because I'm quite pale, and anything darker than that would make me look really dirty, where I'm just trying to go for a shadow look here. So I'm defining around my nose and into the crease of my eyes. Don't mind my crazy cat running up the stairs. A little bit more definition down the side of the nose and underneath the eye as well. Down the laugh lines and underneath the lip area between your lip and chin. Wherever you sort of have lines where you smile, you can sort of put a bit more color there as well. Also, just a quick rough contour. We're not looking for something that's going to be beautiful here. We're looking for something that's going to be kind of rough. You can still blend that out a little bit, just so we don't have extreme hard lines. With that same light brown or dark brown, go in and you can define onto your brow here a little bit of some angry brows. Give a little bit more muscle onto the top of the brow. So blend it towards the fat end of the brow. Don't pull to the middle. And just give a little bit more definition with that darker color underneath your brow line as well. With a tiny blend brush, go in and give that a little blend as well. We're looking for like a shadow, you know, nothing that's going to be too crazy, but it'll stand out once we have the darker colors on top of it. We're going to go in and define the brows here. I've just got a shade, I think it's Walnut, is the eyebrow pencil that I have. Just go in and define on top of what you've already defined as the thicker brow of Handsome Jack. Make sure to get that arch in there. And to fill in, all I'm really doing is cross hatches. Start in one direction, and if you notice that it's looking pretty empty, then add a few cross hatches in there, and it'll give you that definition without having to fully fill in the eyebrow. We are going to be going over this as well, so don't worry if it's not the perfect brow that you were envisioning. We can still touch it up in the future. I'm going to also pronounce those angry brows a little bit more. Smudge munch with your fingers. Now we're going to go in with a silver metallic color to fill in those bolts. Again with a flat brush. We played through Borderlands last year when we were living in Sault Ste. Marie. Kyle had already played through, but I played for the first time, and I really like Handsome Jack. I think he's a really fun character, so I thought this would be a fun Halloween costume for me to do, even if it was just the makeup. We can add in his chin piece here as well. I didn't do any definition when I was doing the light taupe color because there's nothing else really around it, so I figured it would be an easy definition by itself. But if you need a little bit more guideline, go ahead and make your little T shape, upside down T shape under your chin with some of that light brown before filling in. With black, I'm just going in and giving a little bit more shadow shape and definition to the bolts. Again, this is going to be filled in again. I'm more creating shadow. This is a really layered sort of makeup. I know he doesn't have these side bolts. I sort of put them in because I don't have the right sort of sideburns for it, so I figure bolt sideburns would take the place of man sideburns. So here we're going in with a pancake black liner. This is just water activated, but if you were planning on wearing this for a long day or a convention, I would suggest getting a waterproof liner instead. I just stayed at home and handed out candy on this day, so for me, it wasn't really a staying power makeup. We're just going and giving extra definition on top of the lines that we've already created. This is sort of creating that stylized cartoon comic book look. I really like having this really long, thin brush because you can get really thick lines or really thin lines depending on how far you push onto the brush and how much pressure you use. So just go in and define around the nose shape. If you find that you have a little bit of extra shape on the side like I did, then you can fill it in black. My camera cut out, so I'm just going to show you what else I've traced here, just around the sides of my chin piece and along the little definitions that I had made before. And I did a jaw side and just my lips as well. So the top of your lip there, and also here's the other side of the jaw to show you how to do that. If you don't get a completely straight line, don't really worry. This makeup is very forgiving. Because it's so stylized, it doesn't really have to look perfect. And everybody's face shapes are different, and everybody has sort of different features, so your makeup is going to come out a little bit different every time on every person. So going in here on top of these brows, I'm not going to define the middle of the brow. We've already done that with that cross hatching. I'm just going to go in and trace the outside of the brow to give a lot of Handsome Jack's attitude. If you find you get frustrated with one part of your makeup, it's always a good option to move to another area of the face and come back to the problem area, as I just did with my brows. A little bit more definition around the eyes to make it look like he's got a little bit of a raised eyebrow on the one side. And we're going to go in and define our regular crease in our eye. If you don't have a crease, you can put a faux crease in at this point. And I'm really just following along with a picture that I have of Handsome Jack for a lot of the detail work and the line work that he has specifically on his face. If you are not great at eyeliner, don't worry about it. This doesn't have to be the best wing eyeliner you've ever created. Choppy looks good with this sort of a makeup, so embrace it. Laugh lines and those circles. Now I'm just going to go in and define some of the neck shape that you have, because it's never good to just have a full face makeup and it not travel down. Just a little bit of definition on the collarbone and on some of the tendons in your neck as well. And that's sort of an easy and quick way to do a Handsome Jack makeup. Play around with your hair and get it to sit in a semi-masculine way. And then you've got yourself a Handsome Jack. Thanks for watching.